that because you got to have faith in it. Anything you don't have a faith in, you can't have.
Yeah.
Right.
Faith, so, okay, how you got saved? You have to have faith on it.
Yeah.
Somebody had to preach to you about salvation and you believed it and you got saved.
Right.
Well, how do you think you're going to have increase? How do you think you're going to have favor? How do you going to think you're going to reap your harvest? I got to speak it and you got to believe it and you got to confess it and it's going to manifest itself. Now, how did you... Did Jesus tell you come back in 2 days you get saved?
No.
When did you get saved? When you confess? Immediately. Oh, all right. When you believe in the harvest and the favor of God, when you going to get it? Immediately. You don't got to wait. Did anybody get saved later? In an IOU? You got saved the minute you confess. Well, you're going to be walking in the favor the minute you confess, the minute you believe, the minute you walk in that reality of it, you're going to see the man. See, the thing is that when heaven existed and I didn't know the reality.
Go ahead, man.
Some of y'all didn't know. You heard about heaven, but there was no reality. What do I mean reality? It wasn't real to you. While you were bumping in the club, you didn't think about heaven, but heaven existed. It was real. People was getting saved before you came in. People was getting healed before you came in. So the reality of heaven was already in existence even when you were not aware of it.
Yeah, that's right.
Hold on. Can something exist and you're not aware of it?
Yes. Absolutely.
Scientists says there are dimensional worlds.
That's right.
There are all kind of worlds living among us, but we don't have the spectrum. Even there's colors that's living all around us, but you don't have the spectrum to see it or perceive it or understand it. But it doesn't mean it's not around you. It's all around you, but you just can't see it.
Yeah.
Hold on. Can the reality of his goodness, can the reality of his favor and his harvest be all around you, but you can't perceive it? What draws our attention to what's real? The spoken word. I had to speak to you and say that you need a salvation. Now, what made you come to Jesus? No, pain.
Yes.
Pain. Pain. You got tired of the way you were.
Right.
You got tired of your existence and you said to yourself, there gotta be a better life and there gotta be a better way. So now, when you come to God, you heard the preacher preach and you accept it, because now, one thing about it, God did not force you to believe. You were ready to believe because you got tired of being kicked in your neck. Some of us come through car crashes. Love broke your heart. Relationship was something. Okay. Prison brought you to the reality. A disease brought you to the reality of his salvation. Lack is something that makes you come to know that God is better than what I'm living to. When you broke, you got to come to the reality that God didn't just save me and then leave me broke. That's what sickness does. Sickness makes you look towards God to be the healer that He's always been. And I'm telling you, Zion, God is saying that I'm the God of your provision. I'm the God that can give you favor. That's why He has me preaching, so you can come to the reality that you don't have to be broke and depend on the system, but you are the kingdom of the citizen of God. When you have your faith on God, I will provide for you. I will take care of you. I'll make ways out of no ways for you. It got to be real, man. It got to be real.
Yes, Lord.
It got to be real to you.
Amen.
It got to be real. And it got to be so much real that I'm willing to leave anything for that level. Well, I know there are some people who gonna try to talk you from getting to this level.
Right.
And I know there are some buzzards and there's some crows who gonna come and try to keep you and say it's not real. God ain't gonna take care of you. This preacher talking about it. I heard T.D. Jakes say this, right? The sinners, even the saints, will come in and say, oh, why do we got a tithe for? All they want in the church is your money. That's all they want.
Yeah.
And he said something very powerful. I've never seen no sinners in the stripper bars and say, all them girls shaking their butts. All they want is you. Hold up. Why is it that we don't see no sinners in the stripper bar saying, all them girls want is your money. Stay away from that. Oh, no. No, them sinners be up in there making their ring. You didn't have... Has anybody seen a sinner in the stripper bar saying, don't go in there? All them girls want is your money. Never, right? Never. But we've seen people in your family tell you, why do you tithe?
Yeah.
The same people that tithe, they go tithe to the liquor spot.
All right.
All right.
Right. Well,
They go tithe to the guy at the corner.
yep.
We ain't never seen nobody in the corner stay away from JoJo when they selling drugs. All they want is your money. We ain't never heard nobody saying that stuff. We ain't never heard no sinners up there. Matter of fact, when you giving your dollars, you think them girls actually like you.
That's right. That's true.
I know her name. I know who she is. Sweet Money. You think she like you for real? Yeah, she's doing it just for me. Nobody else here, just for me. But it's 1,000 guys giving their money. You think she wants you? The devil is a liar. Do you see how we can come to a reality and not understanding certain things? You can see that, right? Ain't nobody fight. Ain't nobody gonna say don't give your money to that. You gotta see. I tell people don't ever force people to give. They gotta come to the reality of giving, because if they don't come to the reality, even if they do give, it will not work for them. The Bible says without faith, it is what? Impossible to please God. That's when I tell people if you don't believe, don't give.
That's right.
Don't give, because you have not come to the reality that giving works and opens doors and break down things for you, and God is going to bless you. When you give your money, you think you're losing it. That's why you're crying.
That's right.
You think you never see your seed again.
You're right.
You think you never get that money again. That's why you rather go spend it at Macy's. At least I got something for it.
More than one bag.
It's the truth. At least I'm carrying something out. I got me something. And then you wear it once or twice and you never wear it again.
All right.
But you don't understand, when you give to God, you open the door for a continual harvest that's going to keep giving to you. So now, people who have not come to the reality of the church and what God is doing don't understand what you do. You busy trying to explain to people, well, I go to church and I spend 2-3 hours just because I love God. They don't get that.
They don't.
They don't.
Your family members don't get it. Your friends don't get what you're doing.
Nope.
Because the Bible said that to the spiritual, to the carnal people, spiritual things are what? Foolishness. So stop trying to explain people who have never understand what you're trying to do. You are created to harvest. Tell somebody you are created to harvest. Reaping is not a new concept. It is the primary element of the blessing. It is the primary. What is primary? The number one. Number one. That's what primary is, right? It's the primary element of the blessing. Genesis chapter 1, verse 28 and 29. Genesis chapter 1. Verse 28 to 29.
And God said, bless them. No, excuse me. And God blessed them. And God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the seas, over the fowls of the air, over every living thing that moves upon the earth. God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which there is the fruit of the tree yielding seed. To you it should be for me.
Anytime is what? sowing time.
That's right.
Anytime is what? Sowing time. Now, I want to bring you into a very important notice for those of you who's been on Bible study, understand what. When you look at Genesis chapter 12 with Abraham, that's the same thing that God spoke to Abraham.
Yeah, you're right.
God never speaks nothing different than what he's been saying. You've been in Bible and see, it's still the blessing. That's what was in Adam. God now came to Abraham and said, if you walk before me, be thou perfect, I'm going to bless you the same way I told Adam I'm going to do it. So, what was God's original plan in the garden?
Oh, go ahead, Rev. Stop playing. Stop playing.
Okay. No. Bible stuff. What did God restore? Was trying hard to restore back to man. And what was so important about the blessing that the devil trying to get from you? Because you see, the blessing is the power to reproduce.
That's right.
The blessing is the power to succeed. So Satan was trying to get the blessing that was in the man to control it. Where do you think the curse came from? I'm going to teach you something. Where do you think the curse came from? From who? See, the curse didn't come from God. God did not have no curse to give nobody. And that's the first thing. The curse came from the reversal of disobedience. When you are disobedient to God, it is not the devil that's cursing you.
Amen.
It's the blessing that's on you because of disobedience turned on you to dry you up and kill you. That's why Satan trying to make you walk in disobedience. Oh, God. The same blessing can be turned on you.
That's right.
God's agenda was for you to walk in the blessing. To walk, what is the blessing? The empowered to succeed. Anything you touch begin to grow. Adam threw a seed in the ground, it grew. It didn't have to work. The curse came. Why is it the curse came? For you to work. Work is a product of the curse. You ain't supposed to. You throw something in the ground, it grew. I'm going to harvest. It grew quickly. It grew fastly. That is why God now is trying to get people to live right. Not because God trying to mess up your groove. He ain't trying to mess up your groove. Can I talk? First of all, the primary thing people think he's trying to mess up is sex. He made it. Let me make it clear to you. The devil didn't make sex. God did.
That's right.
He's not the author of it. He's the perverter of it. And some of y'all who's married need to jump because God is good to you. That, you see that the brother that's married should be jumping up right now. Start dancing. Play me a drum. Because that's all you're trying to get. Trying to get in illegally, trying to get in the corner, go get some stuff. You know, that's the big. But God made it, and God made it for you. But guess what? Just like the devil trying to make you get that illegally, he's trying to make you get everything else illegally, so that it can turn on you and be a curse when it's supposed to be a blessing.
Go ahead.
Now I'm a dad. All right. I've been charged to preach the word in season and out of season. There is a harvest attached to every seed. There is a harvest attached to every seed. Genesis chapter 2, verse 8 and 9. There is a harvest attached to every what? Seed. Okay. The seed that you attach is what? Not money. That's why you got growing, OC. Read it.
And the Lord planted a garden eastward in Eden. And there he put man whom he had formed. Out of the ground made the Lord to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight for good, and good for food. The tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
Okay, so there is a harvest attached to every seed. And the Lord told me that everything you do in life have to do with seeding and harvest. When you breathe in, you breathe out. Where you go is a seed to the harvest. I remember in the African prayer book, he said, Lord, your foot, he said, let not my foot go to evil places. Let my foot go to good places. Your foot can be a seed to go to evil places.
Yeah. That's true.
Your foot can lead you into trouble. There's some people, wherever they go, they put their foot into trouble. And you see, so anything you do, you sow seeds of friendship. Relationship is a seed. What you do in relationship, your pattern, that's why I had to break some patterns. You call it generational curses. But I call it a pattern of seeding that came from your parents that goes to you. Your parents put seed in bad relationships, now the kids picked up because you came from that same seed. Yeah. Because every seed grows the same seed from its own. The memories, that everything is in that seed. That's why you like your mom and your daddy.
Right. That's right. Is it true?
Your daddy couldn't keep no relationship. Go from woman to woman. Now he come on you and you trying to struggle with it. And you're not identifying that the problem is in the seed. I got to break the pattern because my life's trying to look like my dad. When you talk about me, I'm talking about you. I had to break some seed from my life. Father was a whoremonger. You got to recognize the seed. He didn't do everything right. Full of charisma. The man is full of charisma. 6'4", looking good, looking dude. Full of charisma. He smiled, woman come from everywhere. Bushes everywhere. He drive a Harley. He walk, men look at him. You know? He drive a Harley, good looking, no confident, army. He used to wear his gun, his holster, and he walking. Man had to bow, what? To the bow, brother. Recognize. He said, recognize. So my thing is that there are certain traits and seed that was in my father I had to break in my life. And you have to recognize the seeding of your generation. You have to recognize everything is seed time and harvest, putting and reaping. And I know some of you don't understand what I'm talking about. That's why you need to talk to your mama when your life is a certain way. What did your mama seed it when she was younger?
Amen. Amen.
What your mama planted. You see the way you are, your life is going a certain way. You're going to go talk to mama and say, Mama, what you planted? And the reason why I'm saying to ask mama and them what you planted, because guess what? When you recognize that seed, then you need to come in and uproot some seed. There's some harvest that you don't need. You need to take the seed off. Oh, nobody didn't want to talk. It's all right. There's some things you need to find out about mama. Mama, let's talk. Because I had one man, they don't work. I had two men, they don't work. I had three men, they don't work. What you been doing? Daddy, what's going on here?
Yes.
Amen.
Because there are some demons you're fighting that it's not even your demon, but it's your mama's demon. Your great-grandmama demon. Some spirit you have to fight. And I recognize a long time. But when I came to Jesus, he uprooted. Come on. The seed of Abraham got planted on me. And when that seed got planted, every other seed had to go. Every other harvest had to go. He began to pluck some stuff. Because, oh God, Jesus began to put his farmer's hat on. And he began to say, you don't need that seed of discord. You don't need the seed, my God, you don't need the seed of unforgiveness. You don't need that thing in your ground. You don't need, my God, bad relationship. And begin to take that off. Because what does a farmer do? He tills the ground. So I can have now the right harvest. The right seed in my life. I need the right seed. Oh, come on. There's some seed that I planted in my life, I don't need it.
Yes.
Oh, come on. All right. Oh, you speak in tongues now, but there's some nasty things you've done.